Well, well, well. It seems our Buccaneers have continued their adventures, their Myste adventures, a little bit more, taking them across the various places of Warpriest and Avast. Certainly, adventures are to be had more than just the shackles. But always calls them back. There's a meeting to be had. A few more things to organize. But nonetheless, there's also a few more places to visit. Will all this mean for the upcoming meeting? What would it mean for perhaps a war or a future? Well, if you want to know, sit down, grab your drink, and I'll tell you more of the story. We should continue. Hi everybody, welcome. I'm gonna unmute these people. Greetings and welcome to Buccaneers of the Shackled Sea. High Seas Adventures continues.
Pirates?
Pirates?
Yes.
I am an irate pirate.
True. I'm impressed.
Thank you. I'm here all week.
Hopefully.
Oh my god. I can't wait. I'll come to every one of your shows.
I'm such a fan.
Yeah, sorry, I'm suddenly sick all those days you shows. I really do apologize.
No, are you sure I can add some?
I'll fill in for Momo. It's okay.
Oh yeah, sorry. You know that day you have your show? Sorry, I have diarrhea that day.
I have to schedule it nowadays. You know, it's busy now.
You know how the stomach works. Listen, you know I'm getting old. Okay, the stuff you gotta work out.
All right.
Anyway, I hope everybody's having a good day. I'm gonna have to make this a little bit hotter to minimize it. There we go. Now it's fixed. If you missed last time, there was adventures in Revia and more working on meetings with various pirate lords to convince them to come to a big old meeting. How many do you have left?
69.
Gun to my head, I couldn't tell you. Got him.
I have it. Don't worry. We have 2, maybe 3. I'll double check, but it's 2 or 3.
Didn't we do the one?
We need to convince Longbeard. We need to convince Longbeard.
Yes.
And Bradismar Wake, who has the dead wife that's haunting him.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna deal with that. So it's
We have
just the
dead
2.
wife hours up
The
here.
old ghost wife.
It's just the 2, and I'm going to deal with the dead wife dude, and then Chester and Yaalkol are going to deal with
Longbeard. I think we were talking about it that last time.
I'm on backup with Chester.
I think. Wait, is Longbeard a slaver? I need to refresh that.
Please make sure, because I will hit him with a hammer.
If he's a slaver, Yaalkol is coming with me, and he'll help.
That's the thing about.
I don't know.
He is on Haol Harbor.
So it's a fitty on that one. I'll go. Here's the thing about Yaalkol. He is pretty violent, but
no.
I as the PC will not smash unnecessarily.
I remember now. No, you're good to go in this guy. You bought some clothes to go to opera to meet Longbeard or some shit because he loves.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do love opera, and Misty definitely taught you everything about opera.
And then, what else is there? And then I think that was it. I guess Chester's coming with me to deal with Ghostman.
Okay.
Chester's not left out.
So, yes, Yaalkol
And
Conkabar are heading to Longbeard
Dynamic duo.
in their foppishest of outfits. Alright, what do you want Conkabar to say to Longbeard? How are you going about this?
So we know that he's like a fancy boy.
He does love his fancy stuff.
So, but I don't want to like treat him. I feel like if we treat him like, oh, I only care about fancy things, he's gonna be offended because he probably has other interests. That's just like the things he likes. So, way I would approach it is something to the effect. I don't know how Yaalkol would word it, but I would say something to the effect of like, you know, when you've worn an outfit for a while, you start to realize that sometimes it's worn out of luck. You know, sometimes you've worn it for so long that it's fallen out of fashion. And the problem is that, you know, outfits, they can be a little sticky. You like them, they're well worn, they feel comfortable, but comfort isn't the same as fashion. Beauty is pain, and sometimes beauty requires a little change. So, if you think that the Shackles could use a new change of clothes, I think you should come to a meeting we have planned. We were going to do an island at Empty Eyes, right? This is
yes. Home base.
Yeah, so
it's called Dragon's Roost.
Yeah.
The travel to the artist known previously as the Island of Empty Eyes, now the Dragon's Roost. And
true.
You can have your voice heard in what is to be a beautiful new unveiling for the Shackles. So Conkabar says all of that because Yaalkol wouldn't say any of that.
Okay. I'm gonna roll a die here and see how it goes.
Can I roll it? No, you already did it.
Sure.
No. We go with what you rolled. Did you already roll it?
I haven't rolled yet.
Oh, okay. I heard pinging noise. All right. D20?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a D20.
No, well.
Conkabar's bonus is really good.
Conkabar's bonus is pretty damn good.
It is hard.
Yeah.
And you came with, you know, really good clothes. Circumstance bonus +5.
Yeah. Do we have the drip bonus?
The drip bonus.
Sure, I hit the drip bonus.
I put on the Air Force Ones and I got his attention.
The sound of a defeated DM.
Is that it?
It's like,
fine, you have your drip.
Look, I don't. No. It was less that I was not going to give a bonus for the foppish clothes, and more like I don't know if I would have called it drip bonus, but okay.
Clown.
You're right. It's not a drip bonus because I'm pouring over here. You know what I'm saying, boys? It's beautiful.
True, bro. It's fucking raining, bro.
Yes.
I feel myself rapidly aging. My joints have become dust.
I think we are the same age, Momo. You must embrace the youth. Let it become one with them. I am that one meme, the hello fellow kids.
Yet let the youth flow through you.
I refuse.
Anyway, so Conkabar goes about this with an impassioned speech, trying to convince this man, of which I'm gonna tell you, there's, like, a little bit of, like, confusion on his face about what you're saying, because your analogies aren't probably outside of his wheelhouse. But afterwards, he'll be like...
This is exactly what Conkabar would do, too. He'd use
incredibly
flowery metaphors.
You want me to come to a meeting of some kind? Yes! We will require you to arrive for a meeting of the Masters of the Shackles, those of the Pirate Council. Great Yaalkol here and many others are having a vote of non-confidence on the foul, plain trousers of the Shackles.
Our pants are a little tapered. We need a new tailor.
I can't.
Sorry, I have a lot of revolutionary sartorial script.
Sorry, I started talking about it and broke down a little bit about the pants analogy.
We shall hem in the oppressive edges of this jacket.
Bonefist, he's bad pants, man.
Yeah, bad pants, man. Yeah, that's the tagline for this campaign. Bonefist, he's bad pants, man.
What happened?
I don't know.
And our good friend Joe died.
Long live
Our
rip to a real one.
Rip to a real one. Caster
But-
will be missed.
Yeah. So what does he say? Sorry.
I'm just gonna hit this button here and just roll a die and see what he rolls. Honestly, pretty damn good.
We can live with that.
I don't really get what you're saying, but you just want to have me at a meeting? I guess, you seem fine enough, and if it's important or something, I guess I can show up. Sure.
Forgive Conkabar and his flowery language. Yeah, just come to this meeting that we're having on our island. We're talking about the state of the shackles. We just something we think that folk who care about what's going on in the shackle would care to hear about. So
We shall tear off the Ifchi woolen shirt of the shackles and bring about a new freedom, a new light, airy jacket of beauty,
a silk blouse,
a silk blouse of greatness with the most finest of velvet hats.
It's like, I gotta be honest with you, Conkabar, I'm feeling really inspired.
It does sound wonderful, though I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. God, you did roll very well. You just have a plus 19 on diplomacy.
And then Yaalkol will ingratiate himself by very earnestly asking many questions about like his fashion that he's wearing, and never correcting him if he gets anything wrong.
Sure, you'll have some discussions for a while, but he'll show up. Why not? You convinced him through confusion and the diplomacy check. Congratulations. Alright, so Longbeard will be arriving and joining with you. Now, we switch over to a couple of you heading towards... the name eludes me, you said... Which one?
We're going to the man.
Legend.
True.
The Bradmar Wache. I think he's at Talk Harbor. Or no, Maiden south of Drenchport.
Yeah.
In Tempest Bay.
Oh, hi.
It's the last guy. He has a wife that is a ghost that is most of his
Yes.
problem.
Yes.
Time to do some exorcisms, baby.
We're gonna exercise the spirit.
Or just ask her to leave. Very nicely.
Yeah. True.
On the threat of deleting her existence.
I
Because
mean,
have
it's
positive
not as
energy.
easy to get rid of ghosts. Please make a religion check.
I'm pretty religious.
That's all you.
The
I
religious
have-
person is
I have-
I rolled a 2.
nice.
Okay.
If only there was an Inquisitor here.
You at very least know that, even with a 15, you probably know the basics that it's very hard to permanently get rid of a ghost.
I will... I'll stop by Jacub and ask him, how do I get rid of a ghost? Or maybe Sandra, that seems more reasonable. Let Sandra tell me.
Sandra will roll a religion check herself, which she doesn't have a great bonus to. She got 12. She doesn't know anything more than you.
I asked Jacob. There, okay.
She was too busy with other stuff to put ranks into religion.
Oh my god, Jacob's not even better than me. But Jacob rolled higher.
So yes, when it comes to ghosts, certainly it is easy to defeat a ghost a lot of times. But a lot of times a ghost will return within a number of days. You have to basically, in order to get rid of a ghost permanently, you have to figure out why it's a ghost and basically set whatever problem is right in order for it to rest in peace.
There's no like holy magic I'm gonna cast on it that just gets.
It'll kill it temporarily. It just kills it temporarily, and it's
level 5 spells and they're useless to me.
Yeah, well, you know.
Well, for ghosts.
For ghosts specifically. Well, ghosts are the ones that aren't always evil.
Yeah.
Hence the ghost.
That's why you got to find out what it wants and be like, okay, here, I'll do this task for you if you go away.
Yeah.
Okay, any suggested spells I should bring along when dealing with a ghost? I guess I should bring Death Ward on. Because I assume they can join you. So I'll bring those.
Well, do you have Speak with Dead? We can try to see if the body's still around, and we can try to find out why, what
they
she
can just
wants.
ask the ghost.
You know what?
That's if the ghost actually will talk to us.
I'll take Speak with Dead. Okay, so one of my level 3 spells is Speak with Dead.
Well, if you mess up, you can just, put her in a brine bath and pickle her, like you did that Ken too.
I don't think we did that.
Sorry, Tengu.
Did we?
Yes.
I don't remember that.
You pickled a Tengu.
I don't have any memory of this, I'll be real. I'll take your word for it, though. Yeah, I'm just...
Oh! No, this is worse. Okay. Alright. So, okay. So, I can roll someone roll a local. Let's get the full. Let's see if we get the full story here, because it's not as. Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right.
Chester.
So Chester, I'm gonna say this happens when you arrive in Maiden's Pool and ask around a little bit, or like you kind of like look around, you kind of overhear some conversations, you know where to look to get some information. So it turns out the reason his wife is a ghost is because of him, at least according to the locals. He was so filled with grief, it dragged the spirit of his beloved wife back to life on her own. And actually, it's not him who cares about his wife being a ghost, it's everyone else, because he just ignores the problem.
Honestly, I think that's fair.
He's really depressed. He's depressed about his wife dying, so depressed she became a ghost, which she's really pissed off about, but he ignores the fact that she's a ghost.
We have to sing Let It Go.
Therapy? We have to do therapy?
We have to sing Let It Go to him.
Yeah, the thing is that it sounds like we have to do way too much therapy to fix this guy, to get him to come to a fucking conference. I'm not up for that. But do one of you guys want to try to get him over his dead wife? And then so he can come, like, deal with the shackle shit? Like, what are we doing here?
Look, I'm gonna try my best, okay? I'm looking at my... I'm gonna need a couple minutes. I want to see if there's any spells I can help with a impromptu short therapy session. So, give me a minute. I have level 5 spells. Maybe something will come up.
Can you wipe his memory of her?
Ooh, that's an option. Maybe
Modify
if you get
isn't a cleric spell. Also, it's way too long of a time span for modify memory.
Also, he wears threadbare clothing, unkempt gray hair, shallow skin, and his rumored to spend hours sitting in silence and darkness, cursing his very existence.
Well, the thing is, if we could get him to come to the meeting,
he's depressed,
it actually might help him.
He's actually the guy. He's the guy that's depressed and curses his existence, but he's not going to do anything about it. He's just like, man, I suck. I can't do anything.
Oh my god.
He's in really bad shape, the poor man. Well,
what can you learn about his wife? Because if you can find out what
She died horribly to Sahuagin because there was like a Sahuagin attack or something that killed like a lot of people in Maiden's Pool like a couple years ago.
Oof,
Murdered a lot of people and just wrecked up his shit, you know.
Yeah, the Sahuagin are kind of appeased.
He does technically blame the Master of Gales about that.
The Gales. Yeah.
Who's like...
Well,
Oh, yeah.
he probably had nothing to do with it.
He probably had nothing to do with it.
We could try to find out things that he liked before she passed.
His wife! That's what he liked!
Well, there had to be other things in his life, too, that he
Can I just, like...
doing.
Maybe we could just, like... What level's Quest? Ah, damn, I'm not high enough level for Quest. No, maybe I could have just cast Quest on him to make him, like, come to the meeting. But I can't.
The funny part is getting him to the meeting probably will help his funky...
Okay, yeah, we need to give him a purpose. Okay, I have a spell, Atonement. Probably wouldn't... I mean, it helps with, like, redeeming oneself and, like, you know, feeling good about one's faults in life. That might help. It's a little expensive, though.
Oh no, I'm sorry, it wasn't Sahuagin, it was Lakeoliths destroyed his town.
You know, that's all the same thing to me.
It burned a lot of Maiden's Pool down. A lot of fire. Apparently fish people used fire.
Let's pull up to this guy while I'm looking at my spell list for ideas, and Chester can lead our conversation. Sorry.
Alright, so... Maiden's Pool is a town that is certainly... probably has seen better days. It certainly post what had happened there, it has rebuilt to a good degree, but it is still a small town, and nothing in comparison to the size of Drenchport. If you would look at the old rumors, it once rivaled Drenchport. Drenchport's a small city with nearly 10,000 people. This place has not even 1,000 people in it. So that's how much it has fallen from grace. Where this would have been like less than a decade ago, it would have been much more of a major place. There are still signs of ruins, places where the town is being eaten up by the jungle nearby. But the core of it, of Maiden's Pool, the docks and the area around that does still seem to survive. And there are still some ships here, but you don't see a lot of trade ships. You see some fishing ships, and certainly you of course see Bradensmar's ship. The oh no, he doesn't have a vessel currently. Sorry, you do not see a ship.
Why are we even getting this guy?
Oh no!
Because he technically is still on the Pirate Council.
Yeah.
Though
he's still a vote.
He's still a vote. He just hasn't gotten a new ship since it was sunk by Lincolns.
If we do therapy with this guy, we definitely have his vote, though. Okay, we can guarantee a vote here.
I call them Lakos, and that's from Magic the Gathering. It's Locathas.
Okay, I was thinking, I'm like, wait, that's magic, isn't it?
I was doing that. I keep doing that every time I see them until I actually read the name, so just glancing over it.
Yeah, this guy seems like he's gone through tough stuff. Yeah, I guess we pull up, and I'll have Chester lead while I still look at my stuff.
Oh, and the reason he blames the Master of Gales is basically right before it was destroyed, he boasted that his city would reduce Drenchport to nothing more than driftwood. Right before that.
Yeah, Master of Gales really cares about this guy. He's
probably not. No.
You've probably never heard of this man.
I probably forgot about him, honestly. It's been a little bit of time. So yeah, you're in Maiden's Port, and or Maiden's Pool, and it's a city. It's a town, actually, you know. People are kind of interested to see a ship pulling in, honestly. So certainly there are people. What is akin to a dockmaster will come wandering up and be like, what kind of business do you have here?
What the hell's his name again? The person we're here to see.
Bradesmar Wash.
Yeah.
We're here to see Marsh.
Warsh. W-A-C-H-A.
Oh, Warsh. Sorry.
Warsh. Yeah, Warsh. Look, I mean, like, if you're looking to, like, challenge him or something, probably not really helpful. Look, we're just pretty much a small fishing community, and he just hangs out here and does his thing.
We're looking to cheer him up a bit with some news.
We got some therapy, I guess.
He's giving this kind of look of, like, really?
Listen, I don't want to do it either, okay? But he's important to the Shackles, okay? So we're gonna go.
Is he?
him, okay? Somehow, I don't know how. Don't ask me. I just read the book. All right, I got a list of people. He's on the list. All right, you want to argue with me in my list?
No, I don't really want to argue with you. I'm just curious. Okay, I guess,
Where is he? Just tell me.
you gotta, like, I guess pay something to stay here? You're taking up fishing vessel real estate.
Coin. Are you happy?
No.
How much do you want?
I don't know. No one shows up here. Not for years.
I'll
your
give
gold
him
coin.
5 gold coins.
He'll give you some directions to it, like, the old manor house, it's half repaired. It's still in use. Good luck to you.
On the side, I have something that actually will help us.
Do you really?
My
Imagine you telling me this.
my courtier service.
Your what?
One of the gifts from our goddess.
Oh. Coerce.
Oh,
Like,
cohort.
that's-
Yeah, I can speak
Yeah.
today. Yeah, sorry. There we go. Oh, well, twice.
You can make it a bribe a target or intuited to coerce a target and then their quest or kiosk. So you can, well, he has to be willing to be bribed, I guess, to do this, right? If we won't accept money or
Yeah.
anything, then
True.
but
well, I'm gonna bring it up on
Yeah,
your
it definitely
your town is falling apart. You need to get off your butt again. Do your wife proud.
Well, certainly you
ugh.
can head to his
I don't
manor
know.
house,
I don't trust that.
which looks like it probably would have been a pretty nice, again, probably place that a lord of a small city would have been in at one point in time. The place has seen better days. A lot of walls are damaged, broken apart. You can obviously see places where, in some of the shadows and stuff, there's old fire damage. Vines are overgrowing a lot of places. There's like an open yard area that's kind of gone wild, where there is a number of what look like have been probably like, some farm animals that have just been left to tend to themselves in amongst this new jungle that's formed here. And the building itself has seen better days, but certainly there's still a door there, closed, at the front of the manor.
I guess I'll knock on the door.
Knock on the door.
There will be a little bit of a break before the door will kind of move open, and a middle-aged gentleman with one eye, wearing an eye patch, and a kind of peg leg, in kind of actually pretty like simple clothing, not like dressed as like a sailor or anything, will kind of open the door and be like, "What can I do for you?"
We're here to see Captain Marsh.
Who are you?
We're, I am a free captain. Wait, no, is it pirate council or free captain? Which one's the higher rank?
Either
Pirate
or.
Council.
Pirate Council.
Member of the pirate council. Revia Gavet. This is Chester. He's also a member.
Ah, I heard of you two. Yeah. Look, I'm
You
sorry.
got time to talk?
Captain Wash is just not.
Look, let us try to help him.
I don't think anybody can help him. I stuck with him.
Well, if you stuck with him, tell us what you know of the situation. Maybe we can piece something together to lift his spirits a bit. Can't hurt to try.
What do you know about what's happening?
I know a Sahag, or not a Sahagan, whatever the creatures were. Some of the fish monsters attacked. His wife died. He hates the Master of Gales. He blamed himself.
And rumor
Makes
has
some
it that
sense.
his wife's soul was pulled back because of his massive despair over her death.
Yes and no. Look. He's gonna take like a look back, and then he'll kind of take a step out. Let's talk somewhere else. And then maybe you can have your meeting. I should introduce myself. Slater Dryan, former first mate of the Silent Damned.
Pleasure to meet you.
Great to meet you.
He'll take you to basically is the local watering hole, which the really only locals go to, and it's like basically it's a fisherman's bar. Is the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
Rather than a lot of the sailors' bars you're used to. And he'll get you some like local drinks, which are some decent ales and stuff, and he'll kind of try to talk to you. He'll kind of look. There is definitely truth. What Captain, watch. Once there was a time when Maiden School, less than a decade ago, was a large city. You can see what happened to it. And as much as I believe our captain blames the Master of Gales for what happened, certainly would curse his name, I think it had to do with some of our old problems that we got into. We had had some conflict with some of the local Seapo people long time ago in all of our youths. We were mere free captains. Something that we never did once again, but at the time, I regret it because it drove the city to here. More than I'm a pirate and I do that kind of thing. But many, many years ago, we captured a bunch of tritons. Another one of the local sea people. And we sold them. There was a bounty on that at the time. It was quick money. It was one of the reasons that helped the captain become a member of the Pirate Council eventually, with a number of ships and such. And of course, we helped make Maiden School a big city. Our investments. We earned a lot. And you may say, of course, slaving's the way of many pirates. Some no, some others yes. So certainly there's an argument either way. And I, for one, never really cared too much. But I think a bounty was put on us. Something I forgot about in that time. Someone said something. Cursed us, one of them. Said that one of them was an important member. Now you may say, why didn't Tritons attack? Well, from all I know, Cathars made a settlement in this area. Friends of the Tritons, who are much farther away. I think perhaps they learned that we were responsible for sending an important member of their group into slavery, and they came for revenge. Could the Master of Gales informed on us? Maybe. Could another have informed of us? We had plenty of enemies and rivals in those times, over the years. Could have been anybody. But Maiden School burned. Our ship sunk. Most of the crew died. Most people died. You can see this place as shadows form itself. And our captain awakened something deep within him. Some kind of terrible magic as part of the trauma. And with it, she came back. She is bound to him. Something different than anything that I've ever seen before. And I looked into his effect. The closest thing that I can determine as to what he did when he awakened his magic is he had a connection to magic similar to those that can summon the I believe they're called Eidolons. So he created an Eidolon using the soul of his dead wife. So, is it a ghost? Oh, certainly. Could you get rid of it? Not without taking his life.
Well, I don't think the problem's the ghost. I think the problem is that he's, like, super depressed.
I mean, when you have a being that curses you for bringing it back from the dead and dragging it across the abyss and possibly causing its death in the first place of being horribly mauled and burned alive by
can't you, like...
species of fish people.
Is he not able to, like, sever his connection and summon a different Eidolon or whatever he said?
I have no idea. I'm not an expert at this type of magic. I only learned about it.
I cast sending to Jacub.
Roll a knowledge arcana for Jacub.
Jacub is away from the phone right now. Please leave a message.
36.
I will obey.
His answer will be kind of like a thing like, that sounds like something very unique and weird. Normally, it's sort of like a spiritual construct or something manifesting from their abilities. It could physically look like someone, but it wouldn't have the same personality from them, and it would be much more linked with the person. For him to basically combine that power with a soul nearby maybe means that the soul was, in a way, willing? Maybe not? Or maybe he made a deal with a deity in a way, like some kind of divine connection could have helped cause this kind of thing that he may or may not be aware of.
Is there just a way to get rid of it, Jacub?
Not without removing the abilities he's awoken.
How do we do
Put him
that?
in an anti-magic field.
There's ways to do that temporarily, but it's just... He'll compare it to, like, removing a sorcerer's abilities.
Okay, what if we kill him and bring him back?
Probably wouldn't work. Not
Well,
sure on that one.
But that's all my spell slots.
Well, let's put a pin on that one. I don't know. I think maybe we just put a little pin on that one and come back to it.
Yeah, Jacub has nothing that can help us.
Somewhere in the distant part of sea, Misty has a shiver down her spine. Revia just had a stupid idea.
I'm also thinking that bringing him might not be a good thing if he has Eidolon.
Leave.
Because
so much
and a
drama.
hatred for the game, you know.
Well, let's at least talk to him. But like, we give it like 10 minutes at best, okay? We could talk. We could see, you know. I was gonna cast calm emotions. Yeah, I was hoping like that would help ease the depression, so we could like talk to undepressed.
Sure.
I don't know if that's how that works.
You'll be escorted by Slater
Depressed.
to the manor house, through the parts of the manor house that are relatively intact. I mean, like, certainly a lot of the places in ruins and wrecked, but there are portions of it that have been repaired enough to make this livable. More than likely, you assume it's Slater who's living here, basically converted part of the ruined place into, like, an actual home. But it'll take you to, like, a room towards the center of the mansion and kind of open the door to a completely black room, without any light, where, you'll kind of see sitting in a chair, kind of leaning against, like, kind of leaning back and kind of just staring off into space, behind a desk, is this, like, you know, emaciated, like, you know, unkempt, dirty, kind of like a wild beard on the face of the man, kind of like, sunken, sallow skin. Looks like he barely see, and you'll just hear the words, "Is it time for food again? Must I eat?"
This is the main character of a Lovecraft story.
Bro, this guy's gonna get like hit by a random lightning bolt and get
Yeah.
isekai.
This guy.
He's an isekai protagonist.
This guy's whole
I
vibe
was
is so fucked. I think
was struck
maybe
by
we
a
don't
lightning
invite
bolt.
him.
I was struck by a lightning
Maybe
bolt.
we just
and now-
firebomb the island.
and now
He already
his
was!
wife is the greatest ghost of all time or something.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna come for this guy.
Captain Wash, there are some members of the Pirate Council here to meet you. Please tell them I need nothing to do with it. If it is a requirement...
No, we're here to help you out. You know, we heard about your plight, and it's kind of just sad. So, wanna see if we can maybe help lift your spirits up a bit.
You'll hear a voice from kind of coming from out of nowhere. Nothing can help his spirit. His crimes are too great.
I mean, honestly, his crimes aren't that great in the grand
They
scheme of
are
things.
great crimes.
No, listen, man. You haven't done the shit I have done, okay? You're lowballing it on terms of, like, it's a personal pain. But, like, cosmically, I've done some shit, bro. Okay? That's all I gotta say.
Have you killed thousands?
Honestly, at this point, yeah, I probably have killed thousands of creatures with souls.
I mean not the life of a pirate, but innocence.
I mean, how do you define innocent?
I killed everyone here.
Everyone? Everyone here?
I should have killed that man.
What man?
Kill
And
Druid.
okay,
When I had
Uh,
the chance.
so let me just
It's all my
I-
fault.
look. I think your ghost wife is gaslighting.
This is why you needed Rio for the counter.
Holy shit,
gaslighting.
what an opener! Hold on, folks. Let him cook. Let him cook.
Oh, let him cook.
Let it cook. Let me cook. Jeez, I got this, boys.
I'm actually thinking about intimidating him in a different way.
Uh-huh.
Amazing.
Look.
This is why none of us should be therapists.
Well,
I tell nothing. I tell him nothing but the truths.
And your truth is, to be clear, that you're making him take all the blame for a what is the ocean creatures again that attack? The Hagen?
Wakatha.
About a Wakatha attack, and now he feels personally responsible for every single person that died in the Wakatha attack.
I mean, it's more than just that.
Okay.
I
yeah.
really wish he would just end it already and allow both of us to be free.
Isn't that a little selfish on your end?
He's a little selfish that I'm still here.
Yeah, but like he realistically didn't really have much control over that part.
I mean, did
You
he
know-
summon and bind you here?
Yes!
Esther, you forgot the... But he didn't mean to. It happened out of emotional grief and then a magical discovery.
What I meant also to that was, did he purposely summon and bind you here? Or did it happen by accident because of how bad he felt?
It matters not. I've still been torn. I'm neither living nor dead. Not undead. I am something else entirely. And it is constant pain and suffering I'm in.
Is there
I mean,
a
that's
way
life.
for him to release you?
I would have convinced him long ago if it was possible.
Alright, listen. Hey, my great new friends.
You're lucky I haven't brought horrible vengeance and death upon you. But, in respect that I am not one to destroy our own city and kill it in the Pirate Council seems like a very rude thing.
Yeah, I'm quaking in my boots. Wash. I have a spell that can, you know, ease emotion. Are you willing
I have
to?
no emotions, only sadness.
Christ.
Well, depression, sadness is an emotion. Just so you're aware.
Bro, me too.
Being
Me during lockdown, right?
Being depressed is an emotion. This should bring you to a neutral medium. Okay.
Just like me, for real, for real.
Don't try to help him. He doesn't deserve it.
Listen, I don't care about you. Okay.
I think I'm gonna pull you
This is a
aside.
power
for a second.
couple. This is a power couple, guys. You guys are just getting in the way of real love. I'm sorry that you guys don't understand what real love looks like.
Let me cast my spell. I got plenty of them. Are you ready? What, Wash?
Huh?
It's okay. Just accept it. I cast calm emotions. Being overly sad should bring him to a calmed neutral.
Okay, so certainly you'll calm some emotions in the area.
Theoretically, she'll get, like, you know, less aggressive, too. If she fails a save. If she's resisting.
Yes. What kind of save is it?
Although, I don't know how Eidolons work. If he fails, she might. It's a
I think it
wisdom.
depends on what type of summoner he is.
Wait,
And
is there even
she's
a
also a unique Eidolon, too.
Yeah.
So she's,
I don't know if there's a save.
I don't see a save.
I don't think there's an actual
Right.
save.
Yeah, it might just not have a save.
No, will
Yeah.
negates. It just I probably input this.
Oh, you
one
just
person,
include it in
so
there.
Yeah, a will
Well-
save DC 60. She probably passes. I assume she has a +1.
She might not. Eidolons might not have.
Oh. Yeah, I mean,
she would probably pass it.
presumably
he
she
rolled.
might have a 12 wisdom.
Okay. So he technically resists, but he rolls a 2. So...
He doesn't resist. So he's no longer super depressed and sad. He might be, like, still depressed in the terms of apathy, but, like, he's no longer, like, the unable to do anything depressed. Hopefully. I don't know. Calm emotions is a weird spell.
Oh, it doesn't last that long, does it?
We got 13 rounds, so we got like a minute to talk.
Okay.
Okay.
If that doesn't
Now-
work, bad cops coming out because I have an idea.
this
that
won't-
way.
This won't last too long, so let's work through what we can in this minute. Wash. Tell me. Why do you think the Master of Gales did this?
Isn't it obvious? I provoked him. He's rivals with him.
He doesn't control underwater sea creatures.
Doesn't mean he can make a deal. Offer a bounty, pay some money.
I can ask him if you want.
No.
Okay. Why do you blame yourself for all the deaths? Is it because of your rivalry that you take blame?
Thousands died here under my watch. A town that I was supposed to protect. I'd sworn to protect. A loving wife. Friends. Others I considered family. All of them because I couldn't do anything to save them. I didn't have
you
proper
want-
guard. I wasn't watching.
Do you even want help?
I don't know. I feel clearer than I have in quite a while.
Yeah, wait, 1 second. I gotta recast the spell. I recast the spell. Just don't resist. It's okay. You'll feel okay. Cast the spell again.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't do this forever. This takes an immense amount of concentration, actually. Look, we're not like the best people to like help with this therapy part of existence. I'll be real. We're pirates. You know what I mean? We're kind of desensitized to that, you know, stuff. But really, you gotta do something, right? It's hard, but you gotta like, you know, you have powers. You can help people still. Help, you know, your people. Main's pool needs a leader. They want a leader.
Not just that, but we're here on behalf of the Pirate Council because our current leader there is not doing his job and could cost the whole Shackles their lives. You want to atone for what happened? Help us out and come to this vote.
Kind of emerging out of nowhere will be a kind of spectral woman. Kind of like all kind of like whites and blues all faded out, kind of in a like flowing dress, silver hair will kind of appear behind him, and will kind of say like, perhaps they're right that it was time for us to do something more. I was clouded by my hatred. But maybe there's more that we are meant to do at this point in time. Before we both fail and hit the darkness. Listen to them.
I can do like another 4 minutes of this, so make your decision while I can.
Well, if you want, I can do my diplomacy check with my
That's not a bad idea.
coerce service because I'm saying you want atonement. This is how you do it. This is the bribe to be able to atone for what you did.
And it will give him the push he needs to actually do it. Because
yeah, okay, give me a check.
Okay, give me 1 sec.
You get a +4.
Yeah, and I'm moving my +2 to that, so I get a +6, which gives me a 19 diplomacy.
Oh, good roll.
Good roll. Does that include your bonus for
Yes.
your ability? Okay, just want to
That's all the +6 bonus there.
Yeah. I assume I'm assisting in this shit.
So yeah, if you're assisting, that's a 38 then.
Slater. Is there a boat we can use? Aye, Captain. I'm sure one of the fisher folk will allow us to use it, and there's a couple, folks I could probably convince to come with us. If you and the missus have things in hand. As she's gonna kind of like do that kind of like floating, kind of going around his shoulders and kind of giving this kind of like very wry look and like, we certainly do.
We just gotta make sure that she doesn't they don't try to kill the Master of Gales.
I'm gonna be real. I think he can take him.
I think he would win.
These folks are kind of unique and stuff, but he is a very high level
He is like...
okay, we still don't need an attempt of murder.
Yeah, like a level
But
15
this guy...
He's like a level 15 group.
Yeah, this guy isn't that powerful. Let's, you know, he's like...
Right. I'm
he's
not
strong
saying
for, like,
take
dude,
him out.
but...
I'm not saying he could take the Master of Gales out. I'm just saying we don't want an attempt.
I mean, he is probably some levels less, but he was originally a fighter rogue and now has a bunch of levels of summoner. So
he's inefficient build.
He's probably an inefficient build.
Sucks. You know?
He's not viable.
I can't believe we did it.
You know, the calm emotion spell kind of worked.
Far less gaslighting than I was expecting.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of pulled out the reverse gaslight card. I was like, your ex is gaslighting you, bro. Come on.
I mean, there was also a number of failed saves. Like, that second save I made was technically the wife because you casted it.
Yeah, I figured that's what was hers.
Wait, yeah,
So she calmed down.
She
That's
calmed
so
down from
good,
him
dude.
because because she's unique, and the way I kind of looked at her, she's technically not undead, and like she's an incorporeal eidolon is the best way to describe it, with some traits like an undead.
Yeah.
And knowledge of a previous life.
In actual Pathfinder terms, this guy would not be a summoner, he would be a spiritualist.
Yes.
Oh, or like a medium?
Spiritualist is the occult version of a summoner.
I don't know enough how to build it in a proper way to use it.
Basically summoner, but you don't... It's basically summoner, but you pour everything into your eidolon.
Yeah, what's he called?
So,
the occult classes are fucking weird, bro.
They're very strange.
Yeah, that's why it's kind of hard to like.
I literally never looked at them except Kineticist.
Yeah,
Kinesis, I barely understand anyway.
And I guess Mesmerist is okay too. Mesmerist is just like a caster. Things are weird.
We're technically, seeing more of that kind of stuff come back, but that's that point. Anyway!
Wasn't there a math wizard
yeah.
We don't talk about the math wizard too much.
that you wanted to do, Tantus?
I joked about it. No one wants to use sacred geometry.
Tantus would be good at though. He is like math.
No.
Has a math degree.
Even with
Degree
that,
math.
you know what I have for sacred geometry? An app. Because
Yeah.
no one wants to like
Don't
fuck around with that.
Yeah, but
math.
that's like, at that point, you don't use
Cheating?
sacred geometry. It's just cheating. That's sacred geometry.
It's not a real Pathfinder game if you don't take sacred geometry and require like 15 real life minutes for your turn.
True. Well, that's why you just don't take defeat, right?
How much you talking about? Everybody loves sacred geometry and it's confusing.
It's truly one of the feats of all time.
I've never seen anyone take it.
Well, no,
Not
because
seriously.
it's dumb broken because you can use a calculator for it. So like, there's no like, hey, if you don't finish the calculations by your turn, it's like, you know, you're fucked, right? It's now here's just a permanent free boost to all your spells, permanently.
Well, the thing is, you still have to play around with the numbers, and like, and it all the app tells you is what you can do to make sacred geometry work. You still have to make the choices on how to make it work. And
Congratulations on your couples therapy session.
yeah, you had some couples therapy
somehow
that,
did that.
somehow worked with some failed
Yeah.
saves. Honestly,
You know, best second level spell.
And I finally got to use my core service.
Yep. So now,
Anyway.
even when he gets depressed again, he will feel a force compelling him to go forward and join the meeting.
I mean, look, they're focusing their rage / depression in more positive ways. You know,
They're working through it.
yeah, you know, there's probably
Yeah.
still some love deep in there. You know, which is kind of a little creepy because you love your ghost wife who
Hey, I mean,
probably
That's not
could.
that bad, honestly.
whatever gets you through it, right?
Well, like, it's not that bad because it's like, she's like right there. You know what I mean? She's, you know.
I mean, now their souls are permanently interlinked. You know, hey,
it's a little
cool.
depressing, but that's a
Yeah.
lot.
So, some people use their ghost lover to make pottery, other people to kill monsters.
Well, their souls will be linked definitely in the afterlife still too then.
Which, I mean, I think she still cares for them. She wanted that to happen. She was talking about that. Let's both go to the afterlife together. He just is like, I don't want to kill myself. I'm depressed, but I'm not that bad. My life is an awful existence of torment and destruction, but I kind of don't want to do anything to end it. Maybe I can adapt. Maybe I can get better. I don't know. Anyway, so hey, you fixed, helped,
So-
depression man. I
Yeah.
set
You
them
did
on a path
I
that
gave them new purpose.
I gotta be honest. That purpose is not for you folks to care about. Something will happen, not
Bro, I
involving
just
you.
want them to join us for this goddamn vote.
Yeah. Well,
And we
I mean,
got them.
Now we got everyone we possibly could.
you did indeed
Well,
get everyone you
There's two
possibly.
people. there's at least one other person we could theoretically get, but we don't want to deal with Wide Olga and her boyfriend. Okay, fuck that. So,
Ex-boyfriend, of which rumor has it both of their first mates are continuing to egg on their rivalry to keep the battle going because honestly,
well, let's be real.
they like it better.
They probably would get back together if they stopped fighting. It seems
honestly,
like
if both of their first mates would stop egging them on, they probably would just get back together eventually and forgive themselves. But you know,
that's as easy as that situation. You kill both first mates, toss them overboard, no more egging on.
Okay, yeah.
But then they might hate you because they do like their first mates.
It becomes a whole thing. Fuck that. Okay,
Yeah.
listen. I gave enough of an effort to help this guy with therapy.
They don't know.
You helped this guy with therapy. It's enough. We're good enough.
And then you leave a note saying that the first mate just left. You only have to do one of them because then, you know, if they're both not being egged on, one's going to be more rational and maybe they can make up.
Bro, they're pirates. They're not rational beings.
Mm-hmm. They might blame the other for the death too, which makes it even worse. Anyway, let's take our break here because it's a great point, and we can move on to heading to the city at the center of the world when we get back. So if you just drink, break, snack, bathroom, line of stuff, go ahead and do it. Be back soon. English, work, good.
Good.
I'm hitting these buttons, and I think that's just the intelligence undead unionizing is just...
Hey man, it's a real problem in the necromancy industry, you know? One day, you're just fucking raising undead, and then the next your ghouls are trying to unionize for coffee breaks.
Ghouls union disgust me.
Look, they need the coffee breaks to eat the flesh of the living. We need our living flesh break. Anyway, or is it dead flesh? I can't remember those words. They might eat it. They might kill you with dead flesh. Anyway, welcome back. We're returned. So, having completed the misadventures of gathering together people for a meeting, in the meantime, Myste sails for Absolom. If you're unaware about Absolom, it is known as the city at the center of the world. It is one of the greatest metropolises in all of the world. It is also the place where there's this nice giant stone that, you know, if you pass a test for it, you become a god, and like 3 people have done it. Anyway, it's there too. Yeah. Also, no one in their right mind would invade it at this point in time because they've all failed. You do require some help to get into the city because of the Flotsam Graveyard.
Yeah.
Basically, there's a graveyard of hundreds upon hundreds of ships that basically need specific ways to navigate through to get into the city, so you have to get someone to take you in.
Myste could probably arrange that.
Certainly. Plenty of people do arrange that. Calling for a trained helmsman to be brought in to do that. Getting a member of a trained helmsman could probably try to navigate pretty well. A very good trained helmsman. Somebody like Revia could probably navigate, though I will tell you it is a very high DC to navigate. So even you have a possibility of failure. Not a very high one, though.
True.
Yeah, I have like a 30.
You did 30. That's pretty good.
It's the kind of thing that if you don't have the prior knowledge, it's like DC 35 to 40, depending on the size of your craft.
Yeah, I figured it. For me, that's like actually like I'm pretty good at. The one time my knowledge sailor would actually come up, and I'm not there.
Anyway. As you're kind of arriving, though, a smaller vessel will come up to you. And the rules are, if you have more than 6 people or 500 pounds of cargo, you aren't allowed to try to sail through the graveyard anyway, because they'll just send their land and sea forces to attack and kill you while you're trying to navigate it. So, but a small ship will arrive and come up to you very quickly upon arriving outside of the massive graveyard of ships, of which someone will call to be allowed on board.
They will be permitted aboard.
A man will kind of arrive with 2 guards, kind of come up to you and be like, welcome to Absolom. I'm a member of the Pilots Guild. You wish to hire us on for safe navigation to the city itself?
That would be ideal.
Excellent. The charge tax is 50 gold, which will include all your docking fees for the time that you will be in the town. Know that will allow you to dock for approximately a week. Anytime after that, please inform people at the harbor if you're going to stay longer.
The Myste will pay the taxes, you know.
They'll bring another person aboard who will kind of like introduce themselves and as a trained pilot, and they'll navigate you in through the Flotsam Graveyard into Absolom proper. And Absolom is one of, if not the largest city in the entire world. It is certainly an incredibly impressive place. Certainly, you are not the only vessel being let in, and there are hundreds of vessels in the dockyards. It is a bustling dockyards with goods and places from all across not only the inner sea region, but like all across places from all across the world, dropping off and trading materials here. So certainly, it is bustling. It is busy. And you can find you'll be led, of course, pilot to a place that docks. The man will kind of like, his name is James. He'll be kind of like, give you kind of like a thing, kind of say like, hope you enjoy your stay here. If you have any trade, he'll kind of like give you some information, some basics of like, if you're doing some trade here. If you're either selling materials or planning on picking up materials, these are the places you go. He'll give you a suggestion for a good watering hole. And, you know, also if you just need a drink, and just, you know, give you some basics like that, and then be on his way.
Okay. Myste will take exactly 1 day to enjoy the city before her friends ruin her experience.
Of course. There are plenty of things to see and enjoy in Absolom, and you can take your time, see some sights. See some maybe see some shows, enjoy some nice food. Certainly, you know, it is a massive city because it stretches from one side to the other 7 miles and the other side to the other 5 miles. So you'll probably not explore the entire area of the city, but certainly can get a massive quarter.
Now there is somewhat of a time zone difference between the Shackles and Absolom, I assume. So what Myste would do, because Myste is very polite, is Myste would inform her ship's mage to sending Revia exactly 1 hour before Revia usually wakes up.
Alright. So, Revia, you'll be awakened slightly before what you normally would wake up by a message on your brain.
Wait, let's see if I even wake up. Maybe you just get Revia's inner dialogue. Oh, I don't know what that means. I didn't consider it bad alone.
What does a 1 mean?
What does a 1 mean?
The message response will be something like, there's too many cats. No, too many cats. It's all the cats. There's too many cats.
My wife wants 4 cats. She already has 6 of them.
Cats. That's the response. The ship's mate will come to be like, something about cats.
Alright, message up.
Alright then. Yaalkol will be messaged then and woken up. But Yaalkol, there's a voice in your brain.
What? Well, the message comes in first, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
Phone call.
Captain Curtov would like to speak with the lot of you about materials. Please sending as soon as possible.
And then we'll roll out of bed and who would I contact about this? I'd probably am I with anybody other than Conqueror right now?
You should. Yeah. You could.
At this point,
this is future.
we're back together.
Okay, so
Yeah,
this is
this-
that after we're back together. Okay, I'm sorry.
You're at this point in time. You're probably either on your ship and it's docked at the Islands of the Giants, or you're just
We probably
in
sleep
your-
on the island, right?
Yeah.
probably some quarters on the island. Honestly, but
Yeah.
you might be spending time in.
Revia covered in cats, apparently.
Well, like, I guess you probably go find me, right? Because I'm usually the person you go talk to.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you walk in, Revia is not in the bedroom. You find her in her office, and it's like there's like 6 cats around, and she's like face planted on her desk with a load of paperwork everywhere. And she is not out of her armor. She's just passed out on the desk.
There's also seemingly like lying on top of Revi's back a random cat.
Yaalkol will just
Grinner's inside the room as well.
7
It's
cats.
probably a dead cat.
Weird.
No, the Grinner's leaving the cat alone.
Grinner's
Cats
left the
bring
cat alone.
Grinner rats.
Yeah.
Oh my
We've got a hierarchy.
They have a hierarchy. Grinner's the boss. It's game over. But yeah, Revia just passed out in a chair, and I guess there's a cat on her.
Yaalkol with just very absent-mindedly will just pick up one of the cats and start petting it. And then he'll shake Revia awake with his foot as his hands are busy petting the cat.
Jeez.
Meow.
I
Meow.
say, not that I'm complaining, but what the fuck?
My wife really wanted them. I think I'm allergic.
I know, and then I say, yeah, that kind of sucks.
Is there a spell
Okay.
to fix this? I should know that.
I don't know. You're asking the wrong person.
We're gonna have to, yeah, it's fine. We're gonna have to get rid of them.
Yeah, the
Have
great.
you named? Have you
the great-
named? Oh, you're getting rid of them? I probably shouldn't name them.
Well, they just can't be in my office anymore. But they like
Yeah.
Grinner. I don't understand why.
Yeah,
Grinner just kind of stares at it, and it goes meow, and it kind of stares back for a moment, and then kind of just like after like just a couple seconds, kind of like returns to like a normal cat look, as like it like went
Bro.
wide-eyed for a second, and then it was like meow.
I
yeah,
think
honestly, that
Grinner's
seems like a bit
growing
of an
in
unhealthy
power.
relationship. that seems unhealthy.
Grinner's like becoming a. Look, I'm gonna contact. Whenever we get Harsk back, I'm gonna have him help make something for this. But till then, that's Susan you're holding. This is Georgia, Bess, and then Bess Mara, obviously. Okay, that one's Mara, the other half of Bess. They stick together a lot. That one's Jim. Stole Jimmy's. Slim Jim.
I'm nodding understandingly to all of these names.
Yeah, that's Jim. And I don't know. I don't remember this one's name. It's some Galtian word. I can't. My wife named it. Okay.
in Colmsville.
How do you know that's what my wife named it?
I don't know. It's the only gold word I know.
I'm actually. Do you know what it means? I haven't figured it out.
No idea.
Fair enough. All right. What'd you
I think
name?
it's
Sorry,
a-
you woke me up.
Yeah, that's right. I got a message in my head. We need to go to. I'm sorry. What did the message say again, Tantus?
Sending directly to Misty. It was just sending to Misty, basically. Misty
Alright,
wants to talk.
Misty wants to talk. We have to shoot her a message. The magic one.
Oh, I got it.
Not the little one, the big one.
What?
The big magic.
So, like,
Well,
there's like that little spell that does like a little bit, and then there's like the bigger spell that does more words or something like that, right?
Yaalkol.
I got it. I know what I'm talking about. All right, let's move on.
Well, no, for one, I can't cast the smaller spell. It's not in my capability. I only have the bigger spell.
Okay, you know, let's just be impressed that I knew that there were two different spells.
No, I really am
move on from
impressed
there.
that you knew they were spells in the first place.
I've been paying attention. I know
I
the
cast
different
that
voices that you guys put in my head.
Hey. Do you like cats? Wait, sorry. This is limited. I just woke up. I'm really disoriented.
Hey, do you like
and then
cats?
And then it ends. That's the message you get.
Misty will reply, I do like cats. You may bring one cat.
Honestly,
I'm
that's
sending
pretty
you again.
generous
You
offer.
didn't tell me where you were.
Honestly, I say take the one cat and just run with it.
I'm an Absolom.
I cast something on Jacub instead of getting him like a normal person. Jacub, get everyone else. We're going to Absolom.
So it's
And
just
that's how
the five of you and a cat?
Yeah, I pick up Jim.
I'm sorry, did you think we needed more people? That seems like a pretty motley
No,
crew.
no, that's fine. You know.
Jim is an orange tabby.
Jim.
Perfect.
One
Perfect.
of the other cats has settled into my bag. I was not aware of it.
It's
Susan's
definitely-
taking a liking to you.
Yeah, it's definitely Susan. She's like she's one of those white cats that are fluffy with like the black noses.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I don't know what they call them.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Anyway,
I'm
teleportation. Mm-hmm. All right. I guess you'll arrive on Misty's ship in Absolom, and honestly, it is probably to some of you the most impressive thing you've seen. This city is like you've seen some big cities now that you visited. Certainly, some place like in the Shackles. If you visit Port Peril, it's a large city.
Nice.
This is like 4 or 5 Port Perils together.
Hell yeah.
You know, it is massively larger than Port Peril.
I will say, as this is now your second time aboard Misty's ship, previously it was much more warship looking. At this point now, it very much just looks like a Varisian camp put on a boat.
Ship's dice. So this is Jim. He's my favorite.
She will pet the cat.
He stole Jim's. You know Jim. He stole his like. He called them Slim Jims. They're like, I don't know, a steak of cured beef or something. She kept stealing them. So, you know, named her after the
he's
Jim
still alive.
and the Jim. Yeah.
You
I'm
should
allergic to
retire.
cats.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Is Harsk around?
He is somewhere, I'm sure. I think
I'm just holding the cat still.
he will take the cat.
Thanks.
Um,
I'm gonna go ask him if he has any medicine for it.
Check down in the kitchen.
Wait, is he not gonna disappear out of nowheres? Whatever. Does he not do that here? Ours?
Misty says nothing and walks away.
He like Parskel just kind of like open the door and be like, "You need something?"
You didn't teleport in here. What?
I only do that when I'm needed. I'm not needed.
I
Close the
need-
door and leave.
No, don't leave me. I run after him.
What can I do for you?
I need something for my cat allergy.
Oh, you need some alchemy done.
Yeah.
I'm not good at alchemy.
I thought you were good at like nature shit.
Oh, I know where to look, and generally speaking, and I could probably find you some plants that might help you with that. But, honestly, we are in the middle of a city, or on the ocean. Generally,
Oh my
that doesn't
God,
help
you're right.
find plants.
No, but I could just go find someone in this city that has it.
That's what I was saying. There's probably someone in the city.
Man, this is why we pay you, Hars. You're great.
Yes. So I'm sorry. I was a little wrong. I would tell you it's over 6 times larger than Port
Yeah.
Peril.
Absalom is the biggest city in the
Yep,
world.
it is a very large city. It is
Yeah.
meant to be Istanbul.
To beyond that, the city has a mirror of itself in the shadow that there's a portal in the
Yeah.
city to go to. So
Yeah,
the city is 6 times as big, and also 6 times as big in a different plane of existence.
Yep.
It's kind of crazy. Anyway, you have to talk. You want to talk to some people here at some point.
Yeah. Misty will return with Jim Jim. Jim Jim now has a Varisian start.
Jim Jim.
So, anyway, so there's a couple of ways you can go about it if you're looking for who's in charge of Absolom to speak with them. You could try going to one of the various military groups, of which there are a bunch of them. But most likely then you'd probably want to do something like contact their navy. Again, though, that might not be the best person. That might not be the person that would make decisions of this nature, because you are looking for a larger, possible military / assistance kind of thing.
Yeah.
At top of it, basically there are 10 districts, and each of those districts has a council that rules them. And from that rulership, the entire city has a grand council that rules over the entire city, that's chaired by a primarch. Which Lord Gear of House Gix is currently the primarch of the entire city. But also, I will note, Lord Gear is, who knows where the frick he is. He mysteriously disappeared, about, probably in this timeline, earlier this year, gotta be honest.
Damn.
Because, like, what are we saying that's, like, around, like, the 2017, 2018 for you guys? Or 47, 18, 17 or something.
Yeah, this path, Adventure Path came out in what, was it 2014 or 2016?
I'll look it up.
Yes.
It's one of those dates, and then it came out in 2012, so we're
Yep.
probably in 2014 at best.
I kind of pushed you ahead a little bit, so...
Plus 2 years, right?
Yeah, we can't go too far ahead because some other very important world stuff is happening.
Yeah.
And,
Like
normally,
Okay.
an
So
AP
then
supposed to take-
then Gear would technically, well, it's kind of hard to play around with this
But also,
sometimes.
this is your setting of Pathfinder,
Yeah.
so you can do whatever
The-
you want.
An AP usually takes about a year's worth of time in
Which is
game. So like,
Wild.
We'll just keep things kind of nebulous and say that it was earlier this year that it disappeared. That basically, a bunch of it was Pigtail that effectively an army of demons and undead tried to overthrow the city once again, and basically managed to beat them back, and with the behest of the neighboring nation, of course. Oh, I have to remember all the names off the top of my head. Don't worry, I'll do that in a second. With Andorran's support, Absolom has recently basically outlawed slavery.
Fair?
good.
So that happened like a couple of months ago. It was something that was not in a lot of the city anyway. So sort of like there was only one small area of the city where it was being practiced anyway, and now it's been fully out. So effectively, as a big city like this, with only one area that it was actually being done in, it didn't take long to get rid of it. So that's where we're at with that. But after that happened, Gear disappeared. All that's known is he's still alive. After that, anyway, so that's kind of where we're at, sort of. You might either want to try to contact Absolom's navy, or you would want to try to contact either one of the local district councils, or perhaps the Grand Council, and talk about any kind of deals you want to make and how you want to go about this stuff. So, up to you.
Well, what are the two? You said the Grand Council and the what Council?
Okay, so there are people that you can contact, I'll kind of give a list here. You can go after Absolom's Navy. That's one group of people. There's the Grand Council, who rules over the entire city.
Yeah.
Or you could go to one of the specific district councils and talk to them. They're not going to have as much power. They only have power over the district, but they also might be able to help you get in contact with the proper person, that kind of thing. You might have to go up the chain of who you're communicating with, kind of thing. Certainly, like the Absolom Navy, the branch you could probably reach in the city here would be the Wave Riders. You could probably contact them, who are the ones that directly protect the city. The rest of the Navy is technically not in Absolom proper. They're in the nearby region controlled by them on the island. Because to the north is a smaller settlement, which they use as their naval base, basically, on the island. So, yes!
Okay. So, in terms of support, the people that are going to most benefit for us taking control of the shackles are going to be the merchants and the Navy, because they wouldn't have to protect the merchants.
Honestly, having someone that has a better control over the pirates of the shackles is something that they want. Whether you're getting away for it, or, you're kind of not trying to get rid of the pirates, but getting a better control over them in some way, would be probably...
The idea, hopefully, is to institute more of the deals. We get paid by that group of people. I forget what they're called. The people from Cove.
Yeah.
Basically, we want more people to do that, and we distribute that to other people. Right?
And then, the various members of the Pirate Council keep all the free captains under them under control. So it's sort of like, yes, the people flying official flags would be, out of the way, or you can get, specifically,
And you can pirate merchants that aren't paying the protection. Basically,
Yeah.
So I think we speak to Merchant Guild and the Navy. I think those are the only people that really care about us.
Those are the main ones to cut out, dude. The thing I was saying is you might need to talk to the ruling council to get the Navy involved.
Yeah, well, at least speak to the merchants, because then they can give us hey, these guys have something to tell you, right?
Yeah.
Get us a pass in there, because we're level 13 characters, but we're not or 14 or whatever.
We're 14 characters.
Level 14 characters, but we're not the most important people in the world.
We're very regionally famous, but not world famous.
So,
very true.
Everyone in the shackles knows us, right? That's about it.
Yes. So there's not going to be particularly a merchant council. The closest thing to that would be if you go to the merchant district and talk to their council there. That's what they are. They are the heads of commerce and stuff. So that'd be the Coins District and the Coins Council.
Cool. That's who we're going to go speak to.
Okay.
What was that admiral Myste was told to talk to?
I cannot remember the name I gave you for the life of me, and it might be up in the notes.
Have to talk to that guy at some point.
Yes, I will have to either look back at the notes I have, or find out where I put those notes. Because sometimes I put notes in weird places that I don't remember.
The plan is to speak to the Coin Council and the Navy. So your admiral dude will definitely get us into the Navy.
So yeah, certainly the Coins is very oligarchical in the way that it is looked over. And the Coins is basically, if you want something from anywhere in the world, you can probably find it here, both legal and illegal, honestly. Granted, there are plenty of authorities that would want you doing something illegal, but anyway, there are definitely lots of contraband, illegal drugs, and things like that go around. One of the few things that you probably can't find very easily right now is, of course, slaves, as there really wasn't an area it was being done in and being outlawed doesn't mean you probably couldn't do something, find somebody like that. Or, you know, find illegal animals, horrible things. It's like, there are probably plenty of terrible things you can still find in the coins. You just have to know where to look. It is a district that's open 24 hours a day with both natural and magical illumination that keeps things going all the time. And there are time callers that call out the hour on the streets every hour. Finding your way into the coins, though, certainly, it's busy. It's a merchant district. There are shops all over. There are small, like, there are kind of like stalls and wagons set up all over the place. There are large marketplaces that have things like there's like a fish market and this kind of like a vegetable market, stuff where they're bringing in things from the docks a lot of times. It is very busy. Finding your way through it to where the Coins Council is, well, it takes a little bit of work too, definitely. You would, I believe, have to head to the Merchant's Quarter. Because that is the center at the east end of the coins. The financial and business center of the entire area. And certainly, because it is a place of business, it's where the government is.
Government.
Arriving there, you will... I'm just checking something here. There's anything else that you would run into probably. Probably not, unless you're going and looking for it, so... Anyway. Okay. Asking around, you will learn that the Coins Council holds most of their meetings in the Grand Dance Hall of Korthos. A theater where they can get food, drink, and enjoy a show while discussing business. Which again, a lot of time it is more business than government. So you can speak with someone there about arranging a meeting with them. I'll say probably they would have, they have regular meetings probably once a week. So you could either wait until the next meeting, which is probably a couple days away, or with appropriate bribes could probably convince them to come in.
What was that last part again?
There's a third way you could possibly do. A person will say, basically be like, look, you have business with the council. They meet every blah days. They'll be meeting in, like, we'll say 4 days from now. They had their day, like, 3 days ago. Just had their meeting to talk business and stuff. Most of the time, the individuals meet for more private things. A lucrative donation might convince the council itself to arrive. Or, if you really feel ballsy, you can go and convince the Nomarch to call for a meeting.
Let's just wait 4 days, give a donation. I don't know, how much is a lucrative donation?
Lucrative donation would probably be at minimum... I don't know how many members are on the council. We'll say probably like 1,500 gold pieces, about 100 gold pieces per member of the council. We'll say there's 15 per member.
Do we have that between us? I don't have that much on me.
What I'm saying is you can either wait the time, bribe them, and they'll show up basically tomorrow. Or you can basically talk to the person that was appointed by the government of the entire city to rule over this council and convince them to call a meeting.
I mean, I could pay it. I could pay the bribe.
Do you want to just wait 4 days and just show up?
I want to pay the $50 for more docking fees.
Yeah, let's wait 4 days and speak to the Navy while we wait.
The docking fees
that
would
makes
be
more
much cheaper.
sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
And-
I could
Although-
help spot the other money, but we're not in a time crunch.
I have
Well-
not put you in a time crunch yet. Technically.
Part of it is that if we paid them to come in tomorrow, they're gonna be more willing to listen to us because they're getting the money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
That's part of it. Is they're gonna be like, oh, these guys are, ooh, we got business with these guys. You know what I mean?
And I have on me 3,000 gold currently.
Yeah, I only have 400 because it's expensive.
I could just cover
most of
it.
it. Yeah, if you're cool with it, I feel like it's a good
Alright, I'll pay it.
yeah. I feel like this is a good way to convince greedy merchants. Can is there someone in our group that is capable of estimating on how much money we think merchants in Absolom lose to us pirating their shit?
Probably not.
I could
Is
do
there even like a
local.
well, like, is there even like a way to maybe we could find someone here that can help us calculate that?
We need to
be
find a
honest,
raid
like-
man.
I don't know if Absolom really goes that way for trade.
Absalom is probably not affected by the Shackles pirates that heavily.
However,
there's cer-
we do know well, Misty was suggested that because pretty much everyone's figured shit's gonna go down in Cheliac soon enough. Their navy is kind of locked in, so for the military, we could maybe pledge some support to go and break the hold on the good old strait that Cheliac has.
Yeah. Yeah. A secondary good idea is that maybe we can use Absalom as our location, as like an outside location to get people to pay our tithe, right, to protect them, and then these merchants get a cut of that as like they're housing our embassy of sorts. That's I think maybe a good way to get their support. Because all merchants go to Absalom, right?
Yes.
Right, all nations trade with Absalom. So Absalom working as our neutral point where people pay their tithes makes sense.
And they can get a tax from the tithe.
Right, yeah, and they get a percentage of that. And that's basically free money for them, and they just have to help us get the support of Absalom and like their whatever we need from them.
True. It's certainly an angle we can go. I'm not against
Yeah.
it.
I think that's probably our best angle.
Very reasonable angle because merchants
Yeah,
like
these-
free money.
Yeah, and these guys don't specifically do a lot of trading with us, so we can't use that. Like, hey, if you know what I mean. There's like not a good angle with that. When we rule, it'll be better for you. Although it will be better for them in a in like a down the chain way because there's more goods being transported to Absalom,
Yeah.
not getting taken in the shackles.
The Shackles is kind of along the trade route that tea and merchants use. So it is a very long trade route.
The shackles is just a weird place because it's kind of out of the way.
Look at the map.
But yeah, all right. I think we'll go that angle. If no one opposes it.
The other thing we can mention is because of, and this is for later in life, because of Cheliax's hold, a lot of merchants have to kind of go down and around Luangi and thus through the Shackles because they can't go through the strait because Cheliax are dickheads.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and pledging that if we rule the shackles, we will help them break the arches,
Yeah,
whatever they're called.
Arch something.
The arch of the
Arch of
god-
Eridan, I think it
Yeah,
is.
Eridan.
Eridan, yeah. Eridan's arches.
Mhm. Which is a big old piece of it that was stolen with, and it's actually here in Absalom.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, I think Tritons or Merfolk or something stole it and brought it here and gave it to them as a gift, the city as a gift to help.
Not like Gilman.
Gilman, that's what it is, because there's a group of Gilman that live here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
The keystone was stolen.
Ooh.
If we all are okay with that the negotiation plan. I think that's what we'll do.
All right, so you'll certainly give the bribe, arrange for the next day. Anybody want to do anything in this town here, or do we want to just skip to the
It's
next?
kind of like go and
We
Vibe
enjoy
with-
our time.
she's gonna go vibe with her husband.
Yeah, the city is really nice. It's got a lot of things here. It is honestly, certainly if you're someplace like the docks, it does feel a lot like some places you've seen the Shackles, because as long as you're, there's a lot of brawls and fighting and stuff, as long as you don't interfere with anything major going on, no one really stops you. Like home, beating each other up for no good reason.
Misty is gonna go have a like actual cool date with her husband and pretend she doesn't know these people.
Ah. Anyway, yeah, the harbor guard ignores most brawls and things as long as you don't get out of hand. Keep it well. Anyway, so the next day will come, and you will head to the Grand Dance Hall of Korthos once more. So you did find out that you have to have appropriate attire, or you'll have to pay to get in. Basically, if you have the appropriate attire, admission is free.
Yeah, we all have fancy clothes.
You will be at the upper balcony, is where you're going to be allowed to get into without extra fee. Your initial entry, if you have the appropriate clothes, is waived. But the top balcony, where the council will be meeting, where it is the most, elegant place to go to, you certainly have to go to. So you'll head up to the balcony where there will be kind of, honestly, it's very interesting because the council members will have various seats, and rather than, around a chair or something, you basically will be moved into some seats that are kind of behind them. And you'll be instructed that you will be allowed to, one of you will be, whoever needs to speak will be allowed to kind of move up and kind of take a seat in amongst them to kind of address them while the show is going on. They oftentimes will shift and change seats as discussions are needed. So certainly having an open spot kind of in the middle where you can address the Primarch, the Nomarch of the council, and probably some of the higher-ranking members, is good. The rest of you can enjoy the show, as some Voldrani dancers will be putting on a very nice show downstairs. Honestly, who is your speaker?
I'm gonna guess it's the charisma character.
I assume so,
We
but
have more
Now
than
it's
one
my
charisma
time to
character.
shine.
Yeah, cool. Steps
is-
up.
Jess is probably with me, right?
I was
he's my
born for
second
this
figure.
moment.
You're all there,
Yeah.
but basically,
Step in and out.
Yeah.
one of you is basically allowed to kind of
Like a
Address-
wrestling match.
address the council at a time.
Yeah, I'm addressing the council. I presume.
So effectively, this is it's a row of a kind of row of very fancy theater seats, and you're basically allowed to sit down in the middle of this row where there's people kind of to your sides, as you're kind of everybody's kind of brought very expensive drinks, and you're kind of addressing these people as they're enjoying the show, and most of the time you can already hear them chatting about business.
Yeah. So I guess I'll address so we're in a movie theater seats. That
Kind
was
of like-
how they address the people nearby.
Yeah, kind of think of this row of seats that has the best show, the best row in the house. You're in the third balcony, highest balcony, very plush, really great seats. Anybody else
Or
that came
the
with you
box.
was you're in a box seat that's specifically for this the council.
Yeah, so we're all level with each other.
Yeah.
And we're on I understand now.
hmm
It is great to meet with you, counselors of the coin.
Though one will speak up in response to you. This woman will keep that in. Indeed. It doesn't take long for the information networks of Absolom to find out who is visiting them. Miss Revia? Miss Gavet? How did it address?
Yeah, I assumed you would have figured out. We aren't very subtle people in terms of our origin.
And certainly, though, what kind would normally be outlaws or criminals here in Absolom. But since you're visiting under the word of a merchant, at least on paper, you're not staying. And certainly I don't believe any of your people have done any damage to many of our vessels. The Shackles does tend to have very little to do with the inner sea itself.
We pride ourselves of not breaking the laws of the fair countries while visiting.
Respectful. Impressive, anyway.
It's more of pragmatic, I think is the word. But to business.
Indeed. Why have you called us all here?
The Shackles is going through or will soon be going through a moment of, I guess, the closest thing to civil unrest as we could have down there.
Not to joke, but I'm sure certainly some of my fellows here are already holding their tongues. It already isn't filled with unrest.
Yeah, but usually it's, not, it's gonna be a big fight between two big factions in the Shackles. The current Hurricane King and those who support me and my crew.
So you hope for some form of civil war?
As I said, a great amount of civil unrest.
Unrest.
We don't believe our great Bonefist will give up his seat willingly after he is deemed incompetent.
Regardless of your own politics, I believe that is something that is to be worried about on your own.
Yes, we're here to help secure some aid in our cause and propose a deal that benefits us both. Me and my companions wish to, I hate the word, but to bring some more law and order to the Shackles.
An interesting concept for a realm of pirates and brigands.
It has already been tested, though, so it's not out of the window. We have an annual fee that comes from some nation south of the Shackles, based out of Clove.
You can name the nation, you would probably know it. I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember it either. I named the nation.
Sargara, I think.
Sargava, yeah. Sargova, I think.
Certainly, rumors of Sargava bribing you to keep some control of that region have been heard by many ears. Are you suggesting to become more... I loathe to say the word organized crime?
The Shackles will never truly be free from piracy, but we can make the merchants of the world happier by having them, instead of us pirating the goods, they pay us the protection, and the free captains of the Shackles make sure none of the pirates around hurt their ships.
Bribery.
Of course, bribery. I don't care about the subtleties of it. But it is certainly better for everyone involved if they pay a bribe rather than having their ships pillaged.
An interesting concept, and certainly there are plenty that would support a little bit more control. But I would know plenty of individuals that would look to just remove the pirates of the Shackles completely.
Alex has tried 3 times and has failed 3 times.
That was what I was going to say. Cheliax has tried many of them, and, well, their repeated failures is enough to say that it would be very difficult.
Oh, did you know this latest time they had the help of an archdevil, too? Didn't even work out then, so...
But certainly you also haven't had the full might of the incomplete Cheliax Navy come down upon you, have you?
No, of course not, but, I find if Chelax wasn't willing to bring its full might, what's the chances any other kingdom is gonna really risk their whole entire navy to sail halfway across the world to end some piracy?
You make a good point with that. It would be difficult to just uproot all of you in such a violent manner.
And it wouldn't even last forever, because you know what? As soon as those ships leaves, pirates are gonna come back. You have to have a native group of people ruling from the shackles to guarantee an amount of safety. And in this case, that's where we can maybe have a deal. Absolom is the center of the inner sea. All nations come and trade here. We're seeking to work with the coin, the Guild of the Coin, to help us get other nations to accept the, as you so put it, the bribe. Of course, you would be compensated as housing us and get a portion of this willfully paid money.
Yes. Willful. Well, it does sound like an interesting proposition, nonetheless. And certainly, it would allow for some moniker of control over a lawless legion, and perhaps might encourage others of your persuasion to travel to a location where they can do less for more money.
You know, there'll be a lot of unemployed pirates. Great sailors.
Your proposition isn't necessarily a bad one, but there are a lot of, well, difficulties.
I did just remember something. Can Myste have mentioned this to Revia? Because it is important. I just remember this was an idea I had last week.
Go ahead.
There was this idea that we would make quote-unquote legal piracy, aka people could just hire our pirates to either fuck up their enemies or guard their trade ships.
True. Alright. That I was trying to remember what it was. That's it. And with a bunch of pirates not currently with a job, we have a different idea that can go along with it. Our pirates are great sailors. Great fighters, even. Probably the best fighters from ship-to-ship combat in the world. We could have a sense of legal piracy. Other nations could hire us as hire people in the shackles as mercenaries. That could be orchestrated through your guild, of course, or whatever guild in Absolom handles mercenaries.
Absolom is certainly no stranger to mercenaries and mercenary groups, but most of them that we've encountered happen to be aggressors towards us.
It would be great to have some mercenaries working with you now, wouldn't it? And of course, not that this concerns you as directly, we are also, the shackles, in the inevitability of our victory, would assist you with any problems you have with a certain devil worshipping nation. I hear they're having some troubles.
It's interesting that you should say that, because any force that would assist you would perhaps need to worry about them.
Exactly. Seems like
The Arches of Eredin are controlled by Cheliax, and so passage beyond the inner sea towards the Avast Sea is controlled by them. why would they allow any sort of military force to join?
They're currently going through civil war, right? Or is that
Not yet.
happening?
That's like next
Oh,
year.
yeah.
It's like next
Civil
year.
War
It's
is
like
brewing.
it's brewing. They've got some internal issues that are probably still going on
Basically,
right now.
what is kind of publicly known is like the north of Chelix is kind of building towards open revolt. There are literal devils spewing out of a forest and slaughtering
Sounds great.
Hell Knights.
What was the plan about how these guys are gonna help us? Well, I know the merchants are for post game, but what about
It was mostly
military?
to get military aid from their navy and people
Yeah.
to like properly train admirals for us.
We don't. It likely would be difficult to get big ships across, surely, but we're going to make some talks with the navy of Absolom. We can have more specific and direct aid that they can help us with. But I don't believe that is concerning you at the moment, in our deal specifically.
Do you think you'd be able to develop some form of internal navy that would be more than just your ragtag group of pirates?
We, in fact, already have started that development. It is currently an informal process, sure, but the Shackles has developed in its chaos great navies. The Free Captain. They amass members under them and act as admirals. And if you become a Free Captain and have ships at your back, you are going to be quite competent as well. And that is what we seek to help of Absolom with, is to help formalize Admiralty with your navy itself, to help us organize that. Now, obviously, our combats are used to be chaotic and wild and not necessarily typical ship-to-ship combat. But with a little help from Absolom, I'm sure we can start to formalize stricter and orderly navies. Not removing our chaos entirely, that is part of our charm.
Watch the show for a bit. We'll discuss things. You'll be kind of like escorted to like back to like another row of seats while they'll kind of talk amongst things about stuff for a little while. They'll seemingly talk about it. You can enjoy some of the more of the show, and then after a while, though, you'll be called back to speak again. Certainly, you have many interesting suggestions that seem to definitely bring about a bit more of a possibility for profit. Trade through the strait would be profitable if it could be less regular. Granted, there are other ways around that. Sailing too far to the south is, of course, an option. You would have to discuss it with our navy directly. Do you have someone to speak with?
If you were given the name of insert Navy guy.
We do. My companion has gotten the meeting with insert this person's name.
Okay. Interesting.
We come prepared usually.
So it seems. Well, the Coins Council is willing to listen more to your suggestion and to perhaps act on the suggestion. But approval would have to be made to, at the very least, the Grand Council itself, Though the Primarch is currently unavailable, the Grand Council could be assembled. And discussions can be made.
I see. I have formally written some parts of this deal out if you would like them for future reference.
For now, no. But the ship you were staying with is known, so we should be able to find you. Have your meeting with the naval officers. If you can convince them to grant your support, let them know that the Coins Council will also throw in some support there. But nonetheless, the Grand Council must be assembled and discussed. I'll send word that an important meeting is required. Because nonetheless, what you've suggested, this is an important meeting. You are asking Absolom to interfere with your governments, with your country's problems. That's not something to be taken lightly.
No, of course not. But I think we both understand what there is to be gained.
Certainly, we've seen what happens when there's very little interference. Galt is a grand example of a revolution with no influence, with no one from the outside giving any assistance, or perhaps advice. As much as the Shackles is a mess of chaos, nonetheless you have a government of some form that does grant some form of control. As you said, you make deals.
We make deals.
Should that falter, break apart, should chaos ensue, it could be worse than it is. I can see that. So, this is an important meeting. It must be spoken about.
Then we shall go speak to your Admiralty and prepare for further meetings.
You may enjoy the rest of the show. We have other business we will attend to. We will be escorted to seats on the lower levels. This is business that will no longer include you.
I think most of us won't be staying, but I think Myste will enjoy it. Get up, you know.
I'll watch the performance.
No, I hate
the two cultured members of this party.
Yeah, I leave. This thing is boring as hell.
It's a pretty good.
Hates art.
I leave and go find like a bar fight or something to watch instead. Way more entertaining.
Definitely more entertaining, I'm sure.
Bro,
Certainly.
I'm from the
People
Shackles.
probably die there, you know. So you know.
Nah, I'll just heal them.
Anyway, so
I'm joking.
we'll enjoy the rest of the show, and the meeting will be complete there. Alright. You can send word to the Admiral whose name I don't know off the top of my head. I can maybe give them a new name or something. Let's give them a new name. Okay, there we go. Admiral, Karask, Seston. Karask, Seston. There you go. That's the new name. Because I can't remember the other one, and I haven't found where I put it. I put that
Fair.
somewhere in random, like, I have a lot of note sheets in this game now at this point in time. I know, and it's usually whatever I'm working off if I put something in. So do I get lucky? And remember where I put that? Or did one of you write it down? Those are the questions I asked. Anyway. Alright. So, it'll be a few days, and then the Admiral will send you an invitation to meet with them. Who was it sent you, the Admiral? It was your...
Aranax.
Aranax did, that's right.
He was, like, 8 with this guy.
Yeah.
It's an actual conversation of, like, quote-unquote, civilizing Shack a little bit.
And your master wanted some beer or something?
I already
Alcohol?
dealt with that. That was in the review.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's where it was, okay.
There's tobacco, specifically.
So it would be. I'm just checking which of the districts you probably fit into. It would probably be the. Honestly, a nice place, like a cafe in the Ivory District, which is probably places you've been visiting because it's the art scene.
Woo, that's Myste is a fan of fine arts.
Yeah. There's a lot of theaters here. There's bard schools, street performers. Some people have. There's some manor houses, gardens, and stuff like that across the district. It's probably one of the nicer districts. Not the most wealthy district, but certainly one that shows off its wealth through a lot of art, and shows it off in a lot of ways. But he'll kind of invite you to some a small kind of cafe, which will have the Golden Serpent.
Ooh, man.
Yeah. So you'll find nice seating, and you'll meet a gentleman who's definitely an older gentleman who kind of offer you a handshake and be like, "An interesting message you sent."
Who is he addressing?
You.
Myste will shake his hand. I'm nothing but interested.
Because this is probably would have called directly upon you.
Yeah.
You know.
Definitely the talker.
Yeah, but we're all here?
If you're all here or not.
If you wanted to come along, there really wasn't an invite for you, but you could. And
Myste got invited, but Myste knows what she wants.
Yeah.
This may not be the
you're
most
Gucci.
persuasive person.
Certainly, you could each get another table if you're needed nearby.
Like, to chill and creep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be nearby, alright, in case you need the backup for negotiation.
Yeah. They'll probably see you enter.
A very suspicious lizard man who has entered this building.
Mm-hmm.
They're eyeing us.
Yeah.
What is wrong with them?
Well, certainly. You gave a name that I, haven't heard for many years and didn't think I'd be hearing from again, ever. How is Edmund?
He is well. He's enjoying what pleasantries exist in the shackles.
Part of me understood why he did what he did. Part of me also understood that what he did was something that was entirely personal. Did he tell you many of the stories?
I know what he did, but we've not spoken on it much. Unfortunately, we don't get much time to speak to each other.
I'll keep it short from the knowledge I know, because I'm sure there's more details. Something personal happened, he got into conflict with another member of the Navy. Got into a duel. One said duel. Things didn't go well for him afterwards. And he was driven into a corner, which he then mutinied, rebelled, took a bunch of ships and left Chagnging. But most of that's public knowledge. And certainly whatever personal affairs he got into, that's... Some of those details are... yeah, hidden, I'm sure.
I try not to pry into personal matters of other people unless invited to do so.
It was the loss of an old rival. And certainly the disappearance and rebellion of a major admiral of the Chalaxian Navy, taking nearly a dozen ships with them, crossing around the Eye, escaping from shackles. The kind of news that crosses desks, especially in my line of work.
Well, that's a little different from what I'm used to, but I'm sure everyone knows my story at this point.
Yours is an interesting one, also. I would never expect a member of the Shackles Pirate Council to find themselves in Absolom. Willingly.
Like I said, I'm a very special case, and very interesting. And we do live in odd times.
That I cannot deny. Wars, upheavals, seemingly major threats seem to be appearing across the world. They return. Perhaps it's just another result of the Great Disappearance. Perhaps it's just something new on the horizon. Who knows? Interesting times is definitely the word I would use.
Yes. I prefer the more quiet times, but I don't think I'll be enjoying quiet.
Enough pleasantries. You've used the name of an old rival and asked for a meeting. What is it that you want? Why do you want to
The Shackles is in a state that it cannot continue. It has been for some time. There will be a civil war. It will be bloody. In the aftermath, me and my companions hope to win and stabilize the region, perhaps even reduce the culture of piracy down to privateering and mercenaries. To do that, we need aid and help. We are not, well, to say the least, many ship captains are not versed in the art of war. Pirate struggle is one thing, true battle is another. I'm sure you heard of Cheliax's failings to launch a third invasion.
Yes.
We barely survived that.
An interesting thought you have. Certainly as a member of the Absolom Navy, I would love to see nothing more than every pirate sunk, slaughtered, hanged. That would be the code, the ethos that a lot of us go by. Pirates are a major issue. And certainly the Cheliax don't do much to deal with it from beyond protecting their own region. Granted, certainly in your region of the world, there are other examples of places that have less savorable things that go about them, but certainly are a dirty little secret of our world as a whole. The Shackles becomes another place that you would go to. Is that what you hope for?
That's what I hope to avoid.
Avoid?
My companions and I are attempting to bring order to a place where it does not exist. At least to a degree. Perhaps not to the similar vein of here, but more of a nation not built upon thievery and murder.
Certainly that would be impressive. To change that. But I thought you just want something more akin to what the Red Mantis have done. Control. But keeping your business. And certainly removing the threats of death, murder, robbery. Making it something more, a bit more organized would be most welcome. As much as I would shun it, making you a little bit more of a place like the River Kingdoms would be. As much as they are a place of chaos, a place of violence, war, they don't spill over into any of the neighbors. Certainly they keep to themselves. Pretty well.
Of course, I do not come begging for assistance. I do not beg. I have come with a proposition. If you can assist in training our wayward ship captains into a proper military, we can assist you in perhaps freeing the arches. It is no secret that Cheliax is on the brink of collapse.
Certainly, there's been no better opportunity to think of something like wresting control of the arches away from Chagnging. We would control it. You're certainly nowhere nearby, and certainly you would suggest yourself, I doubt that. Rahadum hasn't had the power to do something like that for quite some time.
Yes, I believe a coalition between yourselves. What was that country called?
Rahadum.
Rahadum and a newly formed military power to Shackled.
You just suggest some kind of coalition. There are other nations that would perhaps be wanting to be involved. Andoran, Haldor, Revia, perhaps even Assyrian. Trade from that direction would be more free to nations that would help control it. And it would perhaps give Cheliax pause for trying to retake it. Interesting. Your suggestion is not without merit, but it is still a dangerous thing, and it does bank on the fact that if there is some form of civil unrest within Chagnging, it has enough of a result allowing for some kind of operation to be successful.
Yes, it would be a massive risk. But I believe it will happen and Cheliax is going to collapse. Because very few people know Cheliax more than I do.
the idea of some military training to a few of your captains isn't completely without appeal. Certainly, giving rough individuals a little bit more polish might mean they take whatever you're suggesting with a little bit more consideration. Beyond that, whatever other support can be made, it would be up to the Grand Council to decide whether or not it would directly be involved. Certainly, training could be done something with more of an individual. I might know someone who would be willing to risk something as such.
Mm-hmm.
I have a captain I know that has a bit of a wild streak. That much I can promise.
Wild
Other
will-
aid? Look. We can get if a meeting with the Grand Council could be arranged. This plan could be discussed. I promise. Whether or not there would be a true decision, I don't know.
A meeting is all I would ask for. And you're not dealing with a random pirate lord. You are dealing with a former High Inquisitor. Someone who knows what can break Cheviax. Like I said, strange times.
Well, I'll see what I can do. Please, enjoy the meal. I believe your strange guards, friends.
They're not very good at subtlety. Especially when one is a 8-foot-tall lizard.
That does quite stimulate.
I'm
And they did
very
walk into
subtle.
Shut up, Yaalkol. We're not supposed to. God damn it.
Well, I just don't think it's fair that this is the
No,
the
Yaalkol.
stereotype I'm not standing for. I'm very subtle.
Honestly, like, the rest of you have, like, coffee and, like, you know, like, finger sandwiches and stuff. It's what they've brought you.
I'm just shaking my head.
He'll part ways with you, you know, kind of excuse himself, and allow you to enjoy your time here at the Golden Serpent, and kind of elegant cafe kind of place with, like, you know, coffees, teas, kind of things, small cakes and desserts and sandwiches, and probably some very nice, like, harp music's going on.
Nice.
Food's good.
Very
Food's
nice.
good. It's very nice and peaceful.
Nice.
Anyway, we'll leave it there then. And we will have to resolve the Adventures of the Absolom beginning next time, because we've gotten 2 big chunks out of the way of it. So, and certainly this is a little bit of a difficult one to work with. So, you know, you went out some good angles for these guys. You might just get some Absolom support. I can say that correctly.
Hey, look, I know enough history to know that any nation is literally willing to hire pirates.
It's true.
It's the same reason that, though that's why he was kind of complaining about Media Golty, because that's the Red Mantis Assassin Guilds, which everybody hires the Red Mantis Assassins to kill people.
We're basically that, but on the sea.
That's what I mean. It's sort of like, he's like, you basically want to pull another one of those. It's like, he's one of those things, it's like, I really hate they exist, but there's nothing I can do about it because they exist.
And
Yep.
let's be real, the merchants are thinking about all the extra money they can make.
Controlled piracy is better than uncontrolled piracy. Hold on, I'm
That-
saying.
And
That's why
controlled assassins better than uncontrolled.
Yeah.
That's why everybody loves the Red Mantises, because they are, like, incredibly ordered, and, like, you know, they do their contracts as long as you don't betray them. They are, like, you know, they are, like, the thing that people want for assassins, you know? Because,
They're the Morag Thong
yeah.
from Elder Scrolls.
Yep. So,
That's a reference I definitely
It's from Morrowind. They come up in Skyrim, I think.
understand.
it's the Assassin's Guild,
Years.
basically. It's the Assassin's Guild, basically. Get higher.
It's the Dark Brotherhood in Morrowind because it's like Fizzleware. I don't know. You probably don't give a fuck. So
Me not caring about the Bethesda lore, what? I
Yeah.
just want to punch people in those games.
Not me skipping through all of the conversation and then killing the quest giver.
Exactly.
I can't wait in 5 years for Elder Scrolls 6 to come out.
See, I'm gonna play Starfield in 6 months once they've found and fixed all the game-breaking bugs.
Honestly, I haven't found a game-breaking bug yet.
My plan is for like 5 years when they have like a super DLC edition with everything on it for like sale for like.
You can get it for your fridge too at that point. Probably.
Yeah, look, I will play Starfield on its 5th re-release.
We all count
Sadly,
5
Momo, that's gonna be a while because like
I'll play it when I'm like,
content
yeah,
coming out.
I'll just play it when I'm old.
Like 80.
when I'm dying.
Yeah.
Preferably.
Anyway, River, you got anything to shout out?
Nothing from me. Fun times as always, and catch you guys next week.
Momo.
Yeah. You can catch me here, and you can catch me sometimes on Discussing Tabletop. I should be probably getting back to the show at some point soon. Because I had a nice break from being on the internet.
Honestly, sometimes you need that, and you just had crazy scheduling. It sounded like a lot of stuff.
To get away from a lot of the negativity this industry throws out.
It just is there a lot, you know. Like it's just there in those random places. You just never know when it's going to show up. Unfortunately. Sal, you got anything to shout out?
Nothing to shout out.
Okay. And Joe, how about you? I knew we knew you were shouting it out.
Yes.
But your microphone likes to cut it out. Anyway, myself, Dracovin. I run this place here. If you're looking for more of my stuff, I talk about tabletops every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Tuesdays, Thursdays, early afternoon, Saturdays, late morning. Tomorrow I'll be talking about some Pathfinder topics. So if you want to learn some more stuff about the Galarian world, I am going to actually be diving into Varisia, and then actually hitting up my intro to humanity on Galarian, which is a basic intro, and then I'll dive into, because that's not actually that much, I'm going to dive into talking about the people of the Varisian culture. We're talking about Varisia, so I felt like that was appropriate to do both together. So you can learn a little bit about them as I was playing Varisian. So,
Fun fact, if you see me playing a human in Pathfinder, it is most likely a Varisian. My favorite culture group in Galarian.
There are some really interesting culture groups. I do like the Varisians too. They have like an interesting way of doing a lot of things. Anyway, I'll be doing some gaming on Friday. I do that Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings. This show every Wednesday at 9 p.m. EST, so if you joined us later, you can always join us a little earlier in the beginning. And of course, discuss with Tabletop as mentioned at 6 p.m. on Saturday. That's the schedule. I hope you enjoy everything. Always remember to check out my YouTube side if you're looking for social media stuff. I've got a twitter.com link and a Discord link down below. Usually just at least say schedule and random crap I'm doing. And I think that's everything I need to shout out. If you're watching this on YouTube, check us out live. If you're watching this now, go check it out on YouTube. If you missed anything or, some other tabletop stuff, it always goes up there. Alright, giving out appropriate shout outs. everything, I'm going to say good night, farewell, everybody. Have a good rest of your evening, and see you all next time.
Oh.
Bye.